Good morning, everybody. This is Stalker 13R with Team Able, Team Anything But Last. Now, I know I said I wasn't going to show any of these Devastator, Top Gun, Walter Bradley videos, and that our focus here on the channel was going to be on the average everyday game. Well, I thought I'd go ahead and show just this one that I got the other day in the Cromwell, so that I could illustrate to you that if you're thinking that it's a lot of skill, and hey, shout out to Fergus Elk there, fellow clanmate. We weren't platooned up or anything, just happened to be in the same game. So shout out to you. Top two on the team, I guess we're representing. And I'm just going to show the stats here. And, a lot of people think, oh wow, what skill does it take, to get this Devastator or Top Gun? And, well, we're going to watch the gameplay today, and I'm going to let you decide, is this really awesome team play? Is this, fantastic individual Unicom skill? Or is this just an average game where I happen to be the last one shooting at a bunch of people? And, a little bit of a spoiler there. That's pretty much my takeaway on this. So we're going to be on Westfield. And we've all been in that game where your entire team goes to the southwest corner and sits up in that isolated linear fight, and no one goes up to the top of the hill. Well, fortunately today, that's what the other team did. So it's going to be a race to get the damage, We're going to run over there and shoot fish in a barrel, and everybody's going to reload their gun as fast as they can and shoot when they're lined up on target. Because that's what you do. So, I just wanted to show this kind of as the contrast to what I usually do here on the channel. It's not to self-aggrandize or say that I'm great. It's quite the opposite. This is just average gameplay. So, for those of you that like the Cromwell, you'll recognize the vehicle. The nice thing about it in a situation like this is it's got some speed, so you can get into firing position first, and it reloads really quick. Sometimes the gun can struggle at long range, but today is going to be one of those magic days where it just seems to hit every single shot. So we're going to cruise up here. A common strategy for the spotter is we're going to go up to this little clump of hills just above the town, and we're just going to show just a sliver of our turret just to kind of spot that ridgeline and see what we've got on the enemy team coming up this way. Now what you'll see sometimes is the spotter just keep going right over the top of this ridge and out into that open field, and they get 6 spots. And then all 6 guys they spotted shoot at them. And they die, and then they rage at you for the rest of the game. Why wasn't my team supporting me? Well, we were driving at full speed, but we couldn't even shoot at our side of the hill, much less your side of the hill. So for all you spotters out there, when you're spotting, make sure your team's in position to shoot at where you're spotting. So I pulled up and showed just a little bit, and there was no one there. I couldn't really believe it. So I exposed my whole tank. There's got to be somebody, right? So we've got a couple of TDs that I'm in no way concerned about at all, and there I got a teammate shooting me in the butt. I don't know if he's saying hi or if he's trying to troll me or if he wants me to do something else. So the takeaway there is you're not in Tier 2 anymore. Stop shooting your teammates. If you want to get their attention, here's a little hint from Stalker. Just point at them, and instead of pulling the trigger, just double tap your left bumper. And that will show your gamer tag and their gamer tag and their feed right above your equipment and ammo there with a follow me sign. And that is an indicator of saying hello to someone or getting their attention. But right now, I'm in the middle of engaging 3 tanks. Why are you shooting the back of my tank? You're a Tier 2 scrub. Stop doing that. So we're just going to mop up these guys. Like I say, none of these vehicles are really all that big of a threat. We'll put a little track and hit there. Oh, I'm sorry, is your shell velocity really low? Well, just move out of the way. But again, I'm just sitting here, my full tank is exposed so that I am guaranteed to get gun depression. I'm not trying to just show that sliver of my turret. Yeah, there I take a round, because why wouldn't you, right? So okay, we'll go ahead and move. There is one artillery in the game. I really doubt he's looking up here. I think that was him coming in on that medium right over there. So they've got other targets that they're worrying about. But this easy deuce, he needs to be dealt with. So we got a bunch of people down here. Somebody else is going to bounce a shot. And I'm going to go ahead and finish him off. You know, guns lined up, you're reloaded, get a shot in the game. Okay, so it looks like the artillery's on the other hill, and he's firing over here. Now I'm going to cut across. Now here's one hint. When we're working at a distance like this, it's really common for people to run up to the edge of the ridgeline and get in a bush. Well, number one, up in those bushes, you're within spotting range from that other ridge. Number two, if they don't spot you, but they see a round coming out of that bush, aren't you just going to shoot at the back of the bush? You know, just aim at the back of the bush and pull the trigger? Or if you go over into the cover of these houses over here, and you poke around a corner, and they're looking back over here, and they see that the corner of a building is shooting at them, don't you just hold your reticle off to the side of the corner of the building and pull the trigger about halfway up tank high? So you're actually safer out here in the open, and you saw me do this in my support play, or bottom tier top of the list. I think it was bottom tier again, one of my earlier videos where I was in the Skoda T24. Instead of taking the position in the bush, I knew my camo was good enough to sit in the open, and it's a lot harder for them to blind fire at you when you're out in the open, because it's not as clear where that shot's coming from. But if you're in the bush or you're on the corner of the house, then it's pretty easy to blind fire you. So there we just worked that T28. You can see, for some reason on the replay, it doesn't show that my skill rounds or my premium ammo was selected there, but I absolutely shot my limited amount of premium ammo at that AT-8 that was all the way across the ridge. Real tanks carry a limited supply of these rounds, and for reasons just like that situation there. In your supply tab, you can get in and change the currency from paying gold, which is money, to silver. And you can use the silver that you earn through experience in battle to pay for those premium shells. And that's what I do. I have no problem if somebody wants to shoot premium shells at me, great. If they're paying gold to do it, even better, because they're supporting the game that we're all playing. And, you know, it's their decision as a tank commander what kind of rounds they want to shoot. So, you know, all of this moaning about, oh, everybody's, you know, shooting premium ammo. You know, you don't need to shoot it at targets you don't need to shoot it at. That's just wasteful. But if that's what you want to do, you know, have at it. I usually carry 10 rounds per vehicle. And, you know, that's a limited amount for the supply that these tanks have. And when they're gone, they're gone. You know, if you didn't solve the problem with that, then you're going to have to get it done with standard. So here you see, it's standard gameplay. You know, there's but one or two tips for, you know, use the up on that ridge too. You'll notice that we're using the edge of our visual, our maximum range of detection there. So I'd just move forward until just one of the targets became visible. And then I'd shoot that target, and then I'd move up a little more, and okay, now there's two at that distance. And I'd work those targets, and then I'd move up a little more. And I'm using that maximum view range instead of like slicing the pie off the corner of a building and just exposing one target at a time and using the building to cover me from fire from the other targets. I'm using that maximum view range, because if I'm on the edge of their view range, then they're on the edge of mine. So, you know, that's how I limit the amount of targets that can shoot at me at one time. So there you go, Cromwell ended up with 7 kills, top of the list. But I didn't really play any better in that game than any others. And, you know, for part of the time I just sat perfectly still with my tank fully exposed on top of a hill, looking at 3 different enemies. So, when I say that I want to improve the everyday average gameplay and improve that consistency in your fun in every game, and, you know, that don't worry about these Top Gun or Devastator medals, I hope this shows that contrast and shows that, you know, there's really not that much difference between a game with, you know, 2,500 damage and 1 kill, as you saw the guy in second place had. Or, a game like mine, where you had slightly higher damage, but you had 7 kills. Does that mean that I'm so much better than the guy that was in second place? Absolutely not. That person was out there getting their gun in the game, and they did a lot of that damage. So, don't set your sights on getting those medals. Set your sights on that consistent, even team play. And working those everyday games and getting those to be improved where your team works together. Now, the teamwork involved in today's game was simply push forward on left stick to get to where you can shoot, and then shoot as fast as you can reload before everyone else gets the damage, because this game's going quick. So, those games are just a feeding fest, and, take them for what they are, but, readjust your goals if you think that those medals are the indication of great skill. They're just an indication of a great opportunity. And I hope that'll give you a little perspective on where we are on those. So that'll probably be the last one of those kind of games I show, and the other games I show are going to try to articulate whatever skill or whatever team play point that we're trying to make for the day. I hope you enjoyed the video, and keep watching.